Daniel, let's get right into it. Congrats on the success of this series. I mean, Disney, most stream on Disney Plus series. How does it feel to be a part of such a successful show?
It's marvelous. What shall I say? It's no, it's just it's phenomenal because I didn't expect to come back. Nobody told me so before. There wasn't a master plan of bringing Zemo back. So that caught me totally by surprise. And then what was even nicer was the fact that they had come up with so many new ideas. So I didn't have the impression that I'm doing the same thing all over again and repeating myself. But I was offered, a whole new canvas where, a sense of humor was allowed. And then, I could, explore the aristocratic background of my character. I finally got to wear the iconic mask that we know from the comic books. So it was a new game. And to be invited to that, it was just a blast.
I find that so interesting. So you are coming back to this world. You didn't know that you would be called back to it. So when you get the call and it's like, hey, you're coming back to the MCU, what was that like?
Phenomenal. I remember it was summer. I was in Hungary, in Budapest, shooting another show that I revisited. That was the first one that I revisited. So I was actually in a good mood anyways, but I then got the call by my agent. I think it was. He was the first one to call me. And I said, like, that's amazing. I mean, and it shows you. I mean, it's so rewarding because it shows you, okay, you weren't that bad. Yeah, they brought you back. And I mean, I always knew that since they didn't kill me, but just put me in a German prison cell, was a good sign that maybe one day I could I could potentially break out of that prison. But then time passed and I kind of forgot about it. And I was blown away when I got this call. Had a glass of champagne and did my little dance.
Oh, let's talk about the dance. Dan, you already got it started. I was going to mention it, but you already popped it off. So you've gone viral with this dance. It was the all people were talking about in the last episode. I mean, you started to fist pump a little bit there for me. And tell me a little bit about the story behind this dance.
It was even worse. I mean, there's some unedited material didn't make its way. There's I mean the dance I think was even it was an extended dance, but I mean that was improvised. It happened on the day. It wasn't on the page, but I saw the crowd. I heard the beats and I thought, like, Zemo needs to show his little moves. He spent 5 years in prison. He needs to let off some steam. And plus, I knew that this would highly annoy Sam and Bucky. So I thought, and I went for it. Obviously, in that pathetic Zemo style, and I was 100% sure that they would cut it out. And even when we were filming it, I think some people weren't sure if that was something that I really did for the take, or that was just me making a joke. But I thought, no, there's some truth in that moment. And then I was very happy to hear that they kept it.
Well, I love this because you said you were improvising it. Everybody, my girlfriends and I talk about this. Everybody has their go-to dance move on the dance floor at a party. Mine's usually this.
Yeah.
So yours. This is that's your go-to.
That is Team Zemo. I like her already.
Has it been so great just to add humor and some humanity to your character this time?
That is so true. And that is what made it so refreshing and so much fun for me, because no matter how serious the circumstances are, it is important to lighten up the tone every now and then. So I really appreciated that, new layer in Zemo being, ironic and arrogant and funny and teasing these guys all the time. I really enjoyed that. And it was a new take on that character. So I didn't have the fear that it would become boring, at least not for me. But then the funny thing is that once the show comes out, you realize that you're getting a bit nervous because, you know, the MCU lives from its millions and billions of fans. So how will they react to the little, you know, and how, you know, because if you have established a character which is quite different in a movie, sometimes people want you to continue on that path. So I thought, like, will they like my little furry coat and the private jet and, you know, the you know, this new attitude? But so far I've received some very yeah, some very nice messages. So I hope that the fans will have a good time with Zemo.
Oh, they already are. They already are. You know this. You know what I enjoy is that the series grounds the characters in even more real life situations. And how important and cool is it to have that? And, you know, because they aren't just superheroes, they just seem more like real life this go around.
Yeah. And yeah, and that is also so much fun when you see the scenes with, you know, with Bucky and Sam in the real world. I mean, they're superheroes, and they don't function as, you know, civilians, but they're trying hard. You know, right. One of them goes to therapy, has night, you know, it's so. The other one tries to fix his life with his sister and you know, his family business in Louisiana, and it's just, you know, these guys are not. You know, have a hard time being just normal civilians.
Yeah.
And also Zemo is not, you know, is not the typical normal guy. And but to see that these guys have their flaws and their, you know, and their traumas, that they're haunted by the demons of their past, that they have suffered severe loss, that makes them, you know, interesting and you know, and you empathize for them, you know.
Right.
And it's and this trio, they all have gone through a lot, and that is also a dynamic that I always liked, because they couldn't be more different, and they constantly fight each other and have conflicts and arguments, and, you know, will not end up being a boy band. But underneath the trouble, there is a mutual understanding that they, you know, that they all have suffered, and
Right.
I guess they understand that.
Right. Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been a pleasure. Congrats on the success of the series and
Thank you so
everything
much.
that comes with it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.